Coming into the first year, Burge, the Dogs are number one, back-to-back champions, looking to three-peat. Had a good season, breaking in a new quarterback. The team was exactly like we all three guessed. We figured that they would lose a game somewhere.
One.
I didn't think it would be early. I didn't think it would be Bama. I had Georgia playing LSU. So now, fast forwarding to the future at present date here on February the 25th, 2024. Burge, tell us about, we know about their loss last year. You don't have to go over that. But tell us about the schedule coming for Georgia. And, hey, look, it's not going to be as easy. They ain't going to get Ball State and GMC Meat Market up here at Coosa. This year,
good.
They do have the best pimento cheese. That Wicked pimento is great.
It's good.
So tell us why Georgia has a great chance of, Kirby getting him number 3.
Well, I'm going to start by saying this. You don't have to be in the championship game to even have a shot at the championship.
Not now.
Man,
12-team playoff is going to make things very interesting in the end. I know y'all probably already talked about they changed, the format.
But you know what?
That's for the next year, though,
no,
right?
It's coming in right now.
It's coming this time.
Okay.
And me and Birds, if people guys, we broke this down last year. Me and Birds did a special along with this, and we went through the whole thing. So what we thought it was going to happen is it's happening. Like we kind of picked it. So Georgia, go through their schedule and tell us did they lose a game this coming year?
I would say 11-1, 10-2 at worst. I think the 2 games that you worry about the most, obviously at Bryant-Denny, and then they have to go to Texas later on in the year. If you had to give a third one to kind of watch out for, they're at Ole Miss on November 9th. I think that could be
Ole Miss supposed to have a good team.
Be an interesting game. We'll go through the whole schedule here. They have Clemson start the year.
Yeah,
Clemson's going to come in ranked probably top 20 in Atlanta. Tennessee Tech, that should be a win. At Kentucky, so I think
that could be a tough game.
No,
I think the SEC.
I don't think so. It could be.
I think the SEC did Georgia a favor. They're going to break in some of the new guys and actually get a road SEC contest before they go to Bryant-Denny. I think that's a big thing that they get to go to Kroger Field, play on the road, and then I know Alabama and Georgia are off the week before the Alabama-Georgia game, so they'll be at Bryant-Denny on September 28th, and that's going to be a ridiculous ticket if you can even find any more right now.
Yeah,
but there's I don't want to get into it, but there's somebody missing.
Nick
Saban. I'm telling you.
It makes a difference.
We're going to see. The jury's out on that. We'll see how everything goes. We'll see.
I still think he'll be good, but he's still missing.
Yeah. Does the fact that Saban's not there to make this or that adjustment, does that change how Alabama? I don't think so.
There's very few people that knows what to do in there's very few, and you agree with that know what to do in absolutely every situation.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Huh?
Experience is huge, and and I'm not sure. I'm not trying to throw off on the board, but I think he's come up rather quickly as far as his coaching.
Right.
He really didn't recruit a lot of the players that he had at Washington. A lot of those were transfers in, and then let's just face it: if Washington plays in the SEC, they probably don't get there to that spot. So, we'll see what happens. I think Alabama's still going to be good, but I think Georgia's probably good enough to go win.
I think so.
And the one reason why I say that, veteran quarterback. I know, the jury was out early in the year, and I think even Big Matt didn't know if he believed in the quarterback Beck too much. But from what I've seen throughout the year, I think he's a good player.
I loved him. He's gone now.
He's Kentucky's.
I think we'd all agree that Beck is good enough to lead you if everything else goes the right way.
I think the sample size last year was still kind of small. It's the same thing with Doc. Same thing, Burge. With Beck is I expect so much because Kirby's the coach. Like I did with Alabama. Dude, I come on here and I've drilled Alabama last year. Did I not get on them? I get on Georgia too. I expect a lot, and in some situations, now I know he can't be perfect, but I just expect some things. And well, we're just going to have to see, because what I'm saying is the scheduling last year was just pretty easy for Georgia. And when they had to play Bama, he just didn't look real good. But
at times he did.
He did late in the game. But Bama makes a lot of people. I mean, Michael Jordan made a lot of people not look. John Starks is great at the Knicks, but Michael made him look bad sometimes. Are you kidding? Gary Payton?
Oh, yeah. Those guys couldn't even play with him.
But they're great.
But they're great.
This year, we're going to have to see Beck go on the road at some big games at high competition of 101,000 screaming at Tuscaloosa. I'm just curious, win or lose. I can watch a game and not be win or lose. It's kind of like wrestling. It's not about winning and losing. How do you show up? How do you keep engagement with the fans? And can you go through the processes and learn and grow? Because he'll be back next year also, right? I mean, I would say Beck will be here this year and 25.
He'll be.
He got 2 more.
I don't think so. I think it was a junior last year.
Well, and you're saying they're doing away with this 5th year option stuff.
Well,
right?
You can still redshirt, and I'm sure that he had to wait behind Bennett and Vandergriff and them. So I want to see how he plays this year. The ball is still out. I can say that he's good, but I'm that way with Milroe, man. I still need to see more. Did he progress through the year? Yes. So you can continue on. I'm sorry I got long-winded, but Georgia at Bama, it's going to be a good game.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think it's going to, it'll be.
I would love to go tailgate. We should all three just go tailgate at that game. I would love to go there and cook out. And
probably about $300 just to tailgate.
No, you just go there and hang
no
out.
way I'm tailgating and not seeing it.
Yeah, right. No, we'd have a TV up and watch it. That would be fun to me. I don't care about going in the stadium. I'm just telling you, I've been in there.
The last time I went in, I think I went in 10 minutes for the game.
It's crowded. It's just nuts. And that game dude, there'll be people hanging off the light poles. But some other games, you did mention Georgia and Ole Miss, and that game is at Ole Miss.
That is correct.
Ole Miss supposed to be very good.
What do you think about Ole Miss defense? How's Beck do? And also, how does Dart do against the Georgia? Who's Georgia's, how's that game going to roll out?
We got to figure out, Georgia has to figure out how they're going to replace some pieces in the secondary. A lot of young talent, but unproven talent. That's why I said at Kentucky early in the year, the SEC kind of threw them a favor so they could. I'm almost certain that at Kentucky is going to be a little better because your guy is going to be a quarterback up there. They can find somebody to throw to. He's going to throw for some yards. He's going to run for some yards. So I mean, that's
Ray Davis.
Automatically, that's a tougher game.
I don't want to try to throw shade against Bama. And I don't want to say when it gets closer, we get into September, I'll be more excited. But just talking about it right now, I'm excited about the Ole Miss Georgia game.
Yeah.
I'm a curious guy.
Georgia hammered them last year.
I'm so curious I'll go to games. Like, I'm so curious to see how it turns out, So I'm very curious to see how Dart plays there at home and how Lane and Kirby, which 2 guys work together under old granddaddy.
Yeah.
There at T-Town.
I wouldn't. Sorry, guys. I don't think that Ray Davis is back for Kentucky. He may. He's already 24. No, he's a senior.
Yeah, I don't think he.
So he's done. Okay.
Ole Miss Georgia game. Now, does Georgia have A&M this year?
Georgia does not have A&M. They have SEC wise at Kentucky, at Alabama. Then they'll be at home against Auburn, at home against Mississippi State, on the road at Texas. So that's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Very curious.
At Ole Miss, Alabama, and Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not last year's schedule, guys.
That's tough.
That's not.
Nobody can say. I don't want to hear anybody say Georgia's got an easy schedule.
Not this year.
Well, they didn't late last year. They didn't have it. They had it early. Yeah, it was pretty. And hey, hats off to them for being able to do that. I mean, they played all their tough games right there at the end.
And now with these teams coming in, you're not going to see some matchups. And I'm glad that they held on to Georgia, Auburn. That's an important game to me.
Yeah, that won't be an easy game.
I think Georgia-Bama, it's got to be a yearly. It's just going to have to be because we're not doing the East and West. Remember, fans, people watching, thank you again for coming by and hanging out. That's over.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking 1 and 2 is going to play for it. Or now I heard some guy say yesterday that whoever finished 1 in the conference is you champ. Now, help me out, Birds.
No, sir. The reason why, I mean, they're wanting to still have value in that SEC championship
game. Yeah.
So that's why you get the automatic qualifiers.
Just the best two, and it could be Tennessee and Georgia. And they're both from what used to be East, but
I haven't studied up on them yet. But boy, they're singing Missouri's praises again because that receiver and Cook, I guess, is back. But the running back's gone, and that running back was a big part.
Yeah, Missouri and Georgia are both East. I'm sorry. That could be.
Yeah,
we don't know this. A lot of things are unknown, and I didn't pick. No. I picked one SEC team to cover of my 3. And which other team did you just got Georgia Birds, or you like somebody else? Or
well, I mean, I do like Missouri. Georgia doesn't have Missouri. I do like Missouri's chances because of the veteran quarterback. He can move in the pocket, he can run, and they're going to play defense up front. They've always been pretty good up front.
Yeah.
Burden,
best receiver possibly in the country.
Yeah.
In the conference, maybe the country.
Yeah.
And
then a few other, going back to Georgia right quick, a few other reasons why I think Georgia could go to that 11-1 and have a shot at winning is a few key transfers. They needed some help at running back, and they got it from Trevor Etienne. I think he is he's a home run hitter. He's a good back. I think you put him behind what should be a good offensive line at Georgia. I know they'll lose the center, but they got a lot coming back. The center and the tackle they'll lose. But also Kobe Young, the big 6'4" receiver from Miami. He could make a difference. And also another guy, London Humphreys. I don't know if you know London Humphreys from Vanderbilt. He's a speedster built in the McConkey vibe, except for he's about 6'3".
McConkey looked so I know he wasn't, but he looked small out there.
Oh man.
Oh, he's pretty small guy, 5'11", probably.
Quarterback at where was that? Cowett?
North. Was it North Murray? Or?
He was at North Murray. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a jack of all trades for North Murray.
Yeah, y'all go watch some film on North Murray.
Yeah, he did.
Coach Ellis. Ellis said he was. He goes, my gosh, he was hard to stop in high school when Coach Ellis was at Lafayette. Paul Ellis.
Yes.
He said it's ridiculous because he'd just come out when Ellis was coaching at the middle school. He had just had his coming out party. McConkey had.
Yeah.
And I think against Auburn maybe. And I was talking about him. And he goes, golly, that guy was excellent in school.
He was y'all's player of the year. Northwest Georgia Scoreboard Show. Go find them. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Benton Burge.
And here's another guy that Georgia added that y'all may can give me a little information on because I don't know much about. Jake Pope. Safety.
Where did he play?
Alabama.
Yeah.
He played at Alabama.
Jake who?
Pope. He played some Mayday.
I don't know much about him.
He played some Mayday game with some Amos or Caleb or Downs or some of that group,
Yeah.
He was just kind of got shuffled in there. I thought he was good. I liked him. I seen him on some packages in some lesser games. I think he'll be fine. With Kirby's mind, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was a 3 or 4 star guy coming out of high school. So, and those stars again, I'll reiterate this: we may be the only darn show that covers sports media that I don't put a lot of accolades on stars. I just have.
Well, you can. No, I mean, not when you look at the Super Bowl starters and
3 stars. They're all 3
filled
stars
with it.
Just both teams had 22 3 stars. So, because I think personally, I ain't gonna get into it deeply, but I think 3 stars wind up being better because they have to work at it. Where a 5-star guy can just kind of show up and go through the motions and, well, I'm just good. I'm just better than everybody.
Right,
but when you get a 5-star guy that does work, now you're cooking with something. Now you're cooking. It's what Hardcastle used to say. Hardcastle McCormick.
Good show.
Yeah, Missouri, Georgia. Those are
2
teams, Eastern teams. Dean, have you got